We talking greatness. Let's get it. Thank you, God. I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in it. I upgraded, now I see the glory in it. Now won't you tap into your greatness? 52 Tuesday, just tap into your greatness. Yeah, we don't play around here. We don't allow our minds to entertain fear. It starts from the moment we wake up. We condition our mind for the taking. Listen up, homie, you ain't gotta settle. You can reach your goal, won't you hit your falsetto? I think it's time for you to spread your wings and fly. There is no time for you to make no alibis. Step into your greatness, step into your greatness. Ain't no excuse in the world that's gonna ever elevate you. Now we levitating on God's will, I'm so persuaded. Starting from the bottom, now we here, yeah. All the sacrifice I made is now paid off. Now we moving forward, cause we about to take off. Got 'em all right, got a spirit and soul, so connected. Walking in the spirit will cause you to be perfected. You gotta know that you're blessed. Came a long way, you must confess. Even though you know you tested, you on your way to true success, yeah. I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in it. I upgraded, now I see the glory in it. Now won't you tap into your greatness? 52 Tuesday, just tap into your greatness. Yeah, we don't play around here. We don't allow our minds to entertain fear. It starts from the moment we wake up. We condition our mind for the taking. Listen up, homie, you ain't gotta settle. You can reach your goal, won't you hit your falsetto? I think it's time for you to spread your wings and fly. There is no time for you to make no alibis. Time to make a move, time to make a move. Show them what to do, show them what to do, yeah. We're gonna make it, you know. You're gonna reap what you sow. No, get back, we keep it in a stack. I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in it. I upgraded, now I see the glory in it. Now won't you tap into your greatness? 52 Tuesday, just tap into your greatness. Yeah, we don't play around here. We don't allow our minds to entertain fear. It starts from the moment we wake up. We condition our mind for the taking. Listen up, homie, you ain't gotta settle. You can reach your goal, won't you hit the falsetto? I think it's time for you to spread your wings and fly. There is no time for you to make no alibi.
Go! What's good, my peoples? What's good? You know what it is. It's your boy J Vega 360, man. We here, we back with another 52 Tuesdays, right? So listen, man, you know, I just want to shout out all my real entrepreneurs out there, all my go-getters. You know why? Like, you ever go to the gym and you got to go to the gym and sometimes you don't feel like working out, but yet you got to set yourself up mentally. You got to begin to psych yourself up just to go into to go into the gym, to put in the work so that way you could get the results. Listen, man, that's how I'm feeling today. Like, you know, some days I don't feel like it, but I got to psych myself up. I got to lock in. I got to get in the beast mode. You understand what I'm saying? I got to tap into my greatness before I step into my greatness. So that's what we doing tonight, man. Listen, man, you know, tomorrow's hump day. It's Wednesday. So, you know, a lot of people are going to be trying to get over the hump on the week. Now, we starting today. We getting over the hump today. 52 Tuesdays, J Vega 360, SIKPCs. Listen, man, I just want to shout everybody out on the check-in. Shout out to my man Sammy Flo on the Barber and Cigar Company. Shout out to my man The Villas Inc. What's good, baby? Tito, what's good? I see you. Patricia, how you doing? Joshua, I see you. Yo, Zelms, I see you on the check-in. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, listen. I'm telling you, man, like, yo, we really doing our thing over here. Elijah, yes, that's my man. So, you know, this is a part of why we do it because, you know, I got my young boy Elijah that's on here. You know, he's 19 years old. He's an inspiring entrepreneur. Like, you know, the young man's really focusing on getting his life together. So he was in the barbershop today and he was like, yo, you having that guy come on tonight? You know, the young entrepreneur? And I was like, yeah, I got the young entrepreneur coming on tonight. Because that's one of the things that we have to, you know, we have to highlight. you know, people that are actually setting out to do great things in life, that are not afraid to go through the process and be willing to be able to share their experience with others, so that way they can inspire the next generation to greatness. So, you know, tonight I have the honor and I have the privilege of you know, bringing on, you know, a very, very good friend of mine who is near and dear to my heart. You know, he started out as a client when he came into the shop. You know, my man Big Mike, SIKPCs, he's the first official sponsor of 52 Tuesdays. You know, he came to me, he's seen the vision. I don't want to get into the interview because I'll give it away, man, you know. But listen, man, this is a very special young man, a very amazing young man, gifted, talented, highly organized. I mean, he has all of the attributes of success written all over him. And it's just a matter of time before, you know, what he set out to do is accomplished and it begins to happen. You know, like I said, he's a part of the 52 Tuesdays family. You know, a lot of the structure in the setup that you're seeing now, it comes directly from Mike. It comes directly from SIKPCs. My man came in, blessed us with the computer. He's setting up the system, got us on all these, you know, it's confusing to me, man. I just like to talk, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I thank God for this brother, and I thank God for his gift, his talent, and his ability, and I thank him for, you know, just desiring to partner with me. And, you know, initially when he came to partner with me, he wasn't seeking anything in return. He just wanted to, he seen the vision and said, yo, I just want to be a part of it, you know? And those are the type of people that I seem to gravitate towards and that I want to do business with and that I want to partner with, you know what I mean? People that are there with you from the beginning, that have no problem, you know, starting from the bottom with you while you're there, with the understanding and the mindset that there's not much to go around in the beginning. There's not much to go around. Listen, man, you know, and that's one of the things I want you guys to see when you tune in, man. Like I tell you, a lot of this stuff that you see is smoke and mirrors. It's not because you see us doing this that we up. Nah, we got bills to pay. We have families to tend to. I mean, we have, you know, a normal life just like everybody else. We have day jobs. And this is taxing. It's requiring a lot of us. It pulls a lot out of us, you know. So this is one of the things that I just wanted to highlight when it comes to people going on their success journey and what it actually takes to become successful. And like I say, man, everybody has a story, right? Everybody has a story. Everybody has something that they had to go through, some form of adversity, some form of challenges, some form of obstacles that have stood in the way of them actually stepping into their greatness and becoming all that it is that they were created to be. And, you know, I'm happy to bring Mike on here tonight because Mike's not like any of our other guests. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Mike doesn't come from the same environment that most of us come from. But what we're going to highlight today is that, you know, a lot of the same struggles that many of us have experienced in our path and in our journey on entrepreneurship or just in business or just being a solid all the way around, you know, well-rounded individual, Mike went through them same hardships. So it's not about, you know, geographical location. It's not about what you look like or, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, there's a lot of things that are common to all men. You understand what I'm saying? So, you know, ladies and gentlemen, you know, without further ado, I want to take the time and I want to bring on my man, Big Mike. You know what I'm saying? I call him Big Mike. Y'all seen Blindside before? Big Mike, Big Mike. How he used to just, you know, clear the lane and throw people off the field. That's my Big Mike right there. That's my Michael Orr. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, Big Mike, you clear the way. We gonna run the play. You know what I'm saying? But it's an honor and a privilege to have him on there. And so, Mike, I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to you and let you just address the people and introduce yourself.
All right. First of all, thanks for the gas. That was some premium gas from George. Thank you, man. Yeah, you've become a really important individual in my life too. And I kind of, as soon as I like met you for the first time for real and got to talking, I mean, it was my first cut. We were talking and talking and talking. And every single cut after that, every 2 weeks I was coming in there because at the time I met you, I was going through a transitional like point in my life where I was really trying to get my stuff together. So getting a cut every 2 weeks was like the thing that I had to do. Obviously now it's out of the picture because I got my stuff together and I'm, you know, just trying to keep going with the other rhythm. So I'll let the cut go for another 2 weeks.
Yeah,
you know
So let me tell people this, right? And this is one of the things that I want to say to the barber community about the responsibility and the duty that we have as barbers. Like, it's so much more than just cutting hair. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we have the opportunity to develop relationships with amazing people. We have the opportunity to be able to inspire some amazing people onto greatness. And through those relationships, man, it's just, you never know what can come out of it. You never know what can come out of it. So, barbers, like when we talk to you guys about, customer service and being professional and being a good representative of our industry and the value that we provide our clients beyond a haircut, this is what it looks like. I could sit here and I could tell you countless stories of individuals that sit in my chair, but it's not what you say about yourself. It's about what others say about you. You know what I'm saying? So, I want to thank Mike for the gas, the premium gas. You know what I'm saying? But, for me, what I do being a barber, it's more so like ministry for me, man. It's an opportunity for me to be able to connect with people right where they're at, to opportunity to actually give them a chance to be heard, not just for me to speak and see how intelligent I am, but for every client when they sit in my chair, it's about them. You know what I mean? Just like every guest that comes on 52 Tuesdays, it's about them. So tonight is about my man, Big Mike. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm telling you, man, like he's a good dude. So Mike, this is what I want to do, right? I want to start from the beginning. Let's go all the way back
Okay.
to your childhood. You know what I'm saying? Let's start from the beginning. Tell the world who Big Mike
Okay.
is, and take us on a journey. Go back as far as you feel comfortable and take us on a journey.
Okay.
But my thing is this, don't hold anything back. Because a big part of what I want people to see, I want people to see the challenges. I want people to see the adversity. I want people to see the hardships of what it actually took from you to go from where you was to where you are today.
All right. So I've always been a gamer, you know, ever since I was a kid. Me and my mom used to play this Lion King game on the Nintendo Entertainment System. It was just the NES, the first one, with those big cartridges that you'd have to blow in to get the games
Mm-hmm.
to work.
I had one.
Honestly, like since the first time I started playing games, like something about, I don't know, like there was just feeling like this connection between like you and the direct inputs that you're giving with your hands. I always thought it was really interesting, you know, that and driving, kind of like hits the same things, the same waves in my brain that make me happy. I don't know. Anyway, so started playing on that, you know, and then I got Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, all that stuff. Played on like PS2, but really, um, where the addiction started, because really this stuff really started as an addiction for me, because I'm someone who suffers from ADHD. So gaming really gives me like the dopamine that people with ADHD are like starving from all the time. I'll talk more about that later if you want to, George. But
No problem. Go ahead, man.
um,
Have at it. This is about you, bro.
yeah, so my parents bought me my first computer when I was in elementary school, and I played. It was like in 2004, I'd say, and I played a lot of like RuneScape and Diablo 2. I still play both of these games today, so even 20 years later, I'm still playing the same games. But uh, I was at my cousin's house one day, the guy that actually introduced me to both of those games, and his mom asked me what I wanted to do when I got older. And I have this like vivid memory of me telling her that I want to build computers. And this is no cap. I swear to God, I didn't even know what it meant. All I know is that my cousin at the time wanted to get into like computer programming, but I didn't want to be the same as him. So I was like, I want to build computers. What's crazy is that it came full circle, and I'm actually like pursuing this as a career, and I really enjoy it, you know? All right, so we'll fast forward a little bit further. 2008, there's a game called Call of Duty 4 that comes out. I'm obsessed with this game. From the moment I first started playing it, I got an Xbox 360 in '08 for Christmas, specifically to play this game. And this is the best Call of Duty of all time, and I will take no other answers, by the way, for anyone watching that's a gamer.
Yo, shout out to
Um,
the gamers, man. Y'all understand this
yeah,
language. This
yeah,
is
you're gonna be hearing a lot about
yo,
that
this is
for
this is
sure.
foreign language to me, man. But shout out to the gamers, man. Huge community.
Huge community, yeah. So I actually started watching a lot of gaming content on YouTube back in the day. Um, and I was watching these guys make videos. It would be like a montage. Like you'd have your gameplay, and then there was like a song in the background, and sometimes you would try to like edit the video to make it like sync the effects. And honestly, you see a lot of this editing style in all of today's content. Um, you know, George's like promo video for this live stream was actually done in a program that does stuff with like AI, and it will automatically edit your video for you, which is crazy because I used to spend tens of hours editing videos back in '08 when I was uploading to YouTube. Anyway, so I created a YouTube channel back then, and I started creating content, and that's kind of how I ended up like going into this space, like knowing anything about like a computer that could stream and the equipment that you need and all that stuff. So, um, anyway, so I'm playing Call of Duty 4 on the Xbox, and I end up meeting some guys from Europe who are playing the game on the computer, and uh, once they told me they were playing on the computer, I was like, okay, that's where I started. So I was like, I want to go back, but in order to play games on a computer, you need to have a computer that can play games. So the games that are more demanding need something called a video card, and that was really the thing that unlocked gaming for you. So I all the money that I'd saved up from like all my birthdays and everything, I spent on a computer. And the thing was, I only bought the parts for it. I didn't buy a whole computer. And through I was in basically a call with my friend that lived in England, and he walked me through how to build a computer over the phone when I was 13.
Wow.
And I once I pressed that power button and it turned on, I was hooked. That was like I was like, this was the best thing ever. And so that was 2009. I built my first computer, and I played games and made content for many years on YouTube. And then I graduated high school, 2012, and I kind of took a break from gaming just because I needed to get a job. I ended up dropping out of community college after my like first semester. I don't even think I made it all the way through the first semester actually.
Wow.
It just wasn't for me. I've had ADHD basically my entire life, and not having it diagnosed at that time was like basically made school impossible. Most of the time growing up, going through all the grades, um, everything came pretty naturally to me, which I'm very thankful for. But once I hit college and I actually started having to study, I couldn't concentrate on it if I wasn't like super interested in it, and that's called hyper focusing. People sometimes people refer to it as laser focus, which is kind of you can't take a person with ADHD away from the thing that they really really enjoy, and it causes like pain in your brain, I guess you could call it, if you take
Mm-hmm.
them away from it. Man. Anyway, so
So hold up a minute,
graduate high
Mike.
school.
Hold up a minute. I don't mean to
Sure, go
interrupt.
ahead.
Yo, so anybody that's a part of my circle that's watching this, that's always getting mad at me for different things. Yeah,
Oh,
I got an I got an excuse now. Mike just gave me an excuse.
yeah,
It's called I don't know ADHD, hyperfocus. I mean,
yeah,
I never tapped into any of that. I ain't never been diagnosed, but it sure does sound a lot like me.
yeah. There's a lot of people have the symptoms, honestly. Anyway, I mean, you should probably like watch a couple of videos that would blow your mind. If you do actually have ADHD, it would be really beneficial for you to start some treatment. Anyway, so 2012, I'm working for like 2 years. 2012, I graduate high school. I'm working for a couple years. Drop out of college. Just start making money. I'm working. See, in 2014, I was working at Ames Rubber in Hamburg, New Jersey, and this was a job that my mom ended up getting me. It's a manufacturing job, putting money in my pocket, and I just got some money together, and I just said I want to build another computer for myself. So, I did, and then I was like, oh yeah, I remember how this feels. Like this is what I want to do, you know. So this is just an idea in the back of my head. Like it really started when I was younger, in like 2009. That was when I built my first one. And even before that, me like seeing the future and saying I want to build computers when I'm older. Like what does that even mean to someone who's
Mm-hmm.
only like 10 years old? Um, so I'm really enjoying this. I'm gaming again in 2014, and I'm trying to figure out like how can I monetize this. There's a lot of things that I would need. I don't really know anything, and I kind of just put it in the back burner. And then I start working at this place called Genpack in Middletown in 2015, and After about a year and a half, I went from someone who was just loading trucks to a warehouse supervisor, and my boss, who was the warehouse manager at the time, still there, still is my boss, but the position's changed. Um, he really mentored me. He took me under his wing and taught me a lot of things about business and how you should run a business that I applied to my business today. And one of those things is running lean, and I'll get a little bit more into that later on. So, another thing, um, I'm a numbers guy. You know, when I was in school, I was really good at math, and I always just liked numbers because numbers don't lie. That was like my favorite thing.
Mm-hmm.
And when you calculate something, there's only one answer. You know, there's not multiple answers. So I really love math. And the best way that I found to solve real life problems, like at work, is with Microsoft Office Excel. And I'm self-taught. I had a couple friends who are really good with Excel help me out. Shout out Eric. Shout out the YouTube channel that I always watch. I can't remember the lady's name, but self-taught myself Excel, and I was just constantly improving. Continuous improvement is also something that I'm really big on. So I'm continuously improving using Excel and solving these problems that my like the warehouse has been having for ever, but since before I got there. And me and my boss completely like changed the way that we ran the office and our inventory. We used Excel to like crack down on our inventory, doing like cycle counts and stuff, and really improved the business. And then once I realized that I had some problems to solve with SIKPCs, which wasn't SIKPCs yet, I was like, oh, I can use Excel as a tool. So fast forward to like 2019, and at this point, I've built roughly 10 computers for my family and friends. Um, Basically, anyone that ever asked me for one, I would just say, okay, like let's just buy the parts and I'll put it together for you. Most of them I didn't charge, some of them $100, whatever. And then when I started to get serious, I made a Facebook post asking for help naming my company because I'm like, I don't know what to call it. You know, sick. And shout out Ashley Dome who came up with Sick PCs. Sick comes from my last name, which is Lucasick, and it's slang term sick. Oh, that's sick. That's cool. You know, it was a no brainer. You know, so when she put that on the post, I'm like, that's it. Like instant moment, it clicked. I'm like, that's got to be it. And then I had some friends help me design a logo. My buddy Corbin actually is the first person who drew me up a logo. It was pretty cool. It had like it had a mouse in it, and then the S and the P kind of connected. And I took the S and the P connecting to a separate graphic designer, and she drew me up something. And I was just going through the motions, trying to find the thing that like really made me like, that's it. You
Mm-hmm.
know, just like the name. So I found so I got the logo, and I launched a Facebook page, and this was like in 2019. So yeah, I launched the Facebook page. The Facebook page is like almost 4 years. Yeah, it's like 4 years old now.
Wow.
It has like 400 likes on Facebook, so that's where like all of my audience is pretty much. I'm not too big on Instagram just because I'm not really a big social media guy. I haven't really kept up with the trends and stuff. I'm really
All
bad with
right.
that,
So
so
listen.
I gotta learn.
So listen. If you're on here and you're not following Sick PCS, I need you to give my man Big Mike a follow. Sick PCS. You know what I'm saying? Let's support the brother. Let's get him out there. Let's blow him up.
Oh yeah,
Let's show him
hit
what the
that follow button.
let's show him what the 52 Tuesdays. Step into your greatness community looks all what we look like. And let's support one of our own, man, because he's pouring into us. So let's give back and pour into him as well.
All right, so let's fast forward a couple of years. 2022. 2022 is when things got serious. Uh, Found out Brenda was pregnant. Brenda's my girlfriend of 13 years.
Okay, shout out to
Uh,
Brenda.
yeah, yeah. So we have a house together, and we've been together forever. Love that lady so much. Anyway, um, shout out Brenda. We found out that she was pregnant with my daughter on May 6th. It was actually my buddy Drew's birthday. That was a crazy day. I'll honestly never forget it. Um, like right after finding out that Brenda was pregnant, I filed for my LLC. This is something that
Wow.
like I had been putting off forever, and I'm like, you know what? Like instant fire under my ass. I said I have to do this. I'm doing it. You know, this is gonna it's gonna be real. I'm gonna like actually pursue this and open up my company. And I started learning about all of the things that you need to do when you open a business. And I used a company called Zen Business to get my LLC,
Okay.
and I think it was like $500 for those of you that are looking. That's for Pennsylvania. It might be different in New York and Jersey. Don't quote me on that. So immediately I'm starting to learn how to start a business the right way. There's like a bunch of things that you need. Um, Obviously, you need your LLC. If you're going to be selling things, you need to have in Pennsylvania. This is if you're selling things, you're going to need to have a sales tax license and a resale license if you need that. Also, the actual LLC, you're going to need an EIN number, which you can buy in the package with the LLC from Zen Business. Also, super important if you ever want to have business credit. So that's something that you need to know. You need to have a separate business checking account that only makes business transactions, and the separate business checking account is what separates your personal life from your business life, and it's all about um, bookkeeping and like keeping track of expenses and making sure that you're not using your business money. You're not mixing the two, because if you're mixing the two, you might as well just do it on your personal and not even open an LLC.
Pay attention. Masterclass.
Um, yeah. So um, I'm learning about taxes. Man, taxes are the scariest thing. You know, all I ever hear about is how scary taxes are, and my dad was in business for a long time, so this is, I guess, it's kind of natural that I ended up taking this stance and like moving forward with the business, even though when I was younger I didn't want to because of things happen in business. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and
Hold up,
you
hold up,
know
hold up.
some
We got to say that again. Sometimes in business things happen. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Go ahead, Big Mike.
Yeah, so I watched my dad go through well, both my parents go through a lot with their businesses, and I really had a sour taste in my mouth at that time. But I think instead of being scared, I stepped up and I said, all right, I'm going to learn from their mistakes. You know,
Mm.
they made the mistakes so that I can learn from them, and I was just super motivated like never before. I mean, for those of you that are parents, when you find out that your partner's pregnant, I mean, for me it's like it was like extreme joy. You know, it's not like that for everybody, but it was extreme joy for me and just like motivation. Like this is what I was meant to do. Like I finally really feel like I have purpose, you know, and I want to provide for this child and Brenda and just my family and maybe extend the family. I don't know. You know, I was really excited.
Yeah, I
Um
remember. I remember when you came in, man,
yeah.
when you were starting the
Yeah.
business and the baby was, so I remember all this, man. So, and
Yeah,
this
man. I
this
mean,
is
I
this
was
is
going to you way before Brenda got
yeah,
pregnant,
that's what
which
I'm
is
saying.
crazy.
Yeah, but that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. This is the beauty of it because as you're telling the story, like I remember you coming in and us having these conversations and seeing you
Yeah.
excited and hearing you talk about your business and we was talking about the LLCs. I think that was the
Yep.
time when I just bought that LLC book and I had posted it. I think that's what spurred the conversation where we was
Yeah,
talking,
maybe.
So, and
Yeah.
this is why I tell people, man, this is why a lot of times you'll see me post my movements because it attracts the right people. You never know who's in the same season as you're in. So now you guys
Mm.
can begin to dialogue and be able to connect just based upon, you're at a similar point in your life. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, well, I'm getting ready to do the same thing. So now you start exchanging information, you start talking, you start building, and this is how you actually get things done and you grow because what you don't know will hurt you in this business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Go
I
ahead,
mean,
Mike.
it's crazy because I think going to your barber might be the cheapest kind of therapy that you can get as an adult. There's no way it's any cheaper than, like $30 for a cut or whatever. And I mean, some barbers are even cheaper than that, maybe more, but it's definitely the cheapest and best therapy you can get, man. I mean, you helped me through a lot, and you probably didn't even know how much you helped me, but going to see you and just like the positivity, and it was like I knew like I knew what to expect. I go in, what's up, Big Mike? You know,
Yeah.
give it a pound,
You know
and
how we
then
do.
I sit, I wait for the cut, immediately start talking. I mean, we're talking about the metaverse in the beginning. We're talking about all sorts of stuff, and yeah, man. I mean, just like um, just knowing what I was getting into every time I went, it was like the best therapy I could have
All right,
possibly
so
had
I'm
at
gonna
that
pause
time.
this again, right? Because like, listen, Mike's a gamer, right? Listen, man, you guys know I'm in the metaverse. You know, I love this metaverse stuff. So now they just came out with interoperability where you can go cross chain. So now we're gonna be able to take our assets from Upland and be able to sell them on Ethereum. So it's like now you have the interoperability,
Mm.
and then Upland just released now where you can interact in a 3D capacity inside of the Upland cafes. So I mean, this stuff is really taking off. So Mike's a gamer. Hopefully, I can bring him over to the metaverse, and we could develop some things on that side as well. Because listen, I
Yeah,
mean,
that'd be cool.
yeah, have you ever thought about creating your own video game or something like that?
When I was in high school, creating games is what I said I wanted to do because it was the closest thing to computers that you could do at the time. So yeah, that was something I was definitely interested in back then. The problem is that now I know how to like I know like the path that people have to take to make games and how the developers are just unanimously hated no matter what they do. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if it's a good path for me.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we'll talk about the
Yeah.
metaverse later. That's a little extra added bonus. That's the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. But go ahead, man. Back to your story.
Anyway, so now I'm super focused on just getting the business going, and I have some goals. One, I want to be transparent. You know, in my industry, for the people that do what I do, uh, me just like looking around at like my competitors and stuff, no one's transparent. You have no idea what parts you're getting. You have no idea about anything. You know, and I think that was one of the biggest things that I wanted to accomplish was transparency. I wanted fair pricing for the customer and for me, um, because it's when your parts total upward, they could total upwards of $5,000, and you're only charging X amount. If you make a mistake with giving somebody a price, you could easily lose money. You know, there's uh, not a huge profit margin in what I do, but uh, if you do it right, you can the profit margin can be steady. So knowing that I would only be making between like $200 and $500 per computer, scaling with how expensive it gets, depending on what parts are going in and how difficult they are to install. Sometimes the labor is just takes more time. You know, I just wanted to be fair, and I needed a way to be fair and undeniably fair. You know, so I also wanted to have unbeatable customer service. And any of my clients, I don't know if anyone's in the live, but they could definitely speak to it. I think that I offer really good customer service. Whenever someone needs anything, I'm there. Whether it's remoting into the computer and doing it remotely, or going to their house if I have to and taking care of the problem there. I always try to do my best to take care of my customers, because without those customers, especially in the beginning, the business never would have taken flight in
Mm.
the first place.
Excuse me.
Yep.
Yep. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Um, so the real like mission for me though was when I was younger in 2008, I had the Xbox 360 and I moved to PC with hardly any help. And I want basically my goal was to be able to seamlessly transition console gamers into PC gamers, and then automating all of the goals that I had already set. The automation for me was really big, because one of my challenges was is that I don't have time. You know, I work full time. Between I leave the house at 7 o'clock in the morning. I don't get home till 6. And I had, I mean, at the time the baby wasn't here yet, so I had we make dinner, eat dinner, whatever. My night starts at 8 p.m. I have from 8 p.m. to whatever time I feel like staying up till to build this thing. And honestly, for me, I put hundreds of hours into Excel workbooks getting to where I'm at now, and it's definitely all worth it. Basically, at this point, the first half of the whole like business transaction and everything for buying a computer or selling a computer, to buying the parts and everything is all automated, and it's like really hard for me to mess up. And I designed it all myself. So pat
This
in the back for me.
Yeah, pat
I'm
on the
really
back.
proud of that.
And that's one of the things too, man. Like, and when you set out on this entrepreneurial journey, like you have to wear so many different hats inside of your business.
Yeah, man,
Like
for
it's
sure.
it's like
You definitely
ridiculous.
have to. We have to wear every hat,
Yeah,
every
yeah.
single hat,
You know?
because there's no capital. There's no. You have to figure out a way. You have to and that honestly, that's one of my favorite parts is you have to figure out a way to get shit done without paying somebody, because most of the time when you're a small business owner, there's no money. There's no money available unless you're getting funding from like some people, like you're a professional like business grower or whatever you want to call it,
Mm-hmm.
like a professional startup guy, and you don't have investment. You have to be able to do things yourself. And that's also one thing that I really like to provide to my customers too, is like a lot of my customers are business owners and they need help just making sure that their business runs smoothly. Um, so for example, like my accountant, he might buy a new printer and he needs me to go install it for him. Stop by after work, get the printer installed for him, get everything set up. Any maintenance to the computer that needs to be done, whether it's cleaning or whatnot. Like that's the kind of stuff that I do beyond just building computers. It's the after sale. The way I take care of my customers after the sale is really the biggest thing. Um, and obviously I can only be able to take on so many more customers before need to start hiring someone to help me with that stuff, because if I'm working full time, it's just not a lot of time in the day. Anyway,
But that's one
long
of the
story short.
but that's one of the things that I want to highlight and I want people to see, because like I said, there was some young people that came in the shop that was really eager to see this interview because they want to see what it really looks like. You know what I mean? What success really looks like, or what does it really look like to be an entrepreneur or build a
Yeah,
business? You know what I'm saying? Like Mike said, man, in the beginning, there ain't no money, man. Like you're doing it for
no money.
passion. You're doing it for love.
Yep.
Like you're doing it to see the fulfillment and the satisfaction on other people's faces. There's going to be a lot of
Yep.
times you're going to go home, you're going to lose sleep, you're going to be disgruntled, you're going to have anxiety, you're going to have stress because you're trying to figure out, how you're going to make your next move, or how you're going to pay this bill, how you're going to do that, how you're going to keep things afloat because, you know, like you said, the margins aren't there. And as a small business, the competition is like crazy. I mean, with the Amazons and the chain stores, and so and
Yep.
the hard work and dedication and the time that you put into it, it's like there's really no dollar amount that can really ever compensate for that. It's like you
Mm-hmm.
really have to do
Mm-hmm.
it because you love doing it. You really enjoy doing it, and it gives you a level of,
Yep.
of personal satisfaction above the monetary. Although the monetary is what we're pushing for. And like he said, unless you have that financial backing where there's somebody that's just, pouring in finances into you, I'm gonna tell you, man, this is a bloody walk. It's a rough walk if you want to go into business. But it's worth it in the end, man, because like I said, the personal fulfillment, what we get out of it by showing up, and it's literally by defeating ourselves every day. Like Mike was saying, his mind loves to connect the possibilities. He loves to have to try to figure something
Yep.
out. So for us, that
Yep.
becomes the rush. That becomes that's the payment in the beginning until the money shows up. So we just want to paint a real picture of what it looks like. Like if this is what you say you want to do, you have to get ready for the good, the bad, and the ugly before the beautiful shows up.
Yep. Yeah, it's really hard. Like you have to also ask yourself, like, how much, like, what value am I bringing, and is my product worth it? That's the other thing. You have to actually put a value on, like, what problem am I solving as a business owner? Like, what problem am I solving? Is my product worth it? And you have to make it worth it for the customer. Otherwise, you're never gonna get your feet off the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so another challenge for me was, besides funds, is space. Uh, I could easily, not easily like financially, but I could easily rent a warehouse and run this business out of a warehouse. And most people do. But unfortunately, I'm running it out of my house. I don't have a lot of room. But you know what? There's a lot of things that I learned at Genpack that allowed me to run my business really lean, meaning that I don't keep any inventory on hand. So I don't keep computer parts or anything here. I don't keep any spares. It's just not the way I can currently operate just because I don't have space. So for now, everything is made to order. So if someone orders a computer, I'm ordering the parts. I'm getting the parts shipped to me, and then I'm building the computer, and then I'm shipping it out. So once everything comes in, everything goes out. That's just kind of how I operate.
Made fresh.
Um, yep. Yeah, literally.
Made fresh to order.
Yep. Yep. Anyway, um, so besides space, accounting and taxes, very difficult. If you don't have a good relationship with your accountant, I would say get one. And you want to make him your best friend because you're going to be asking him hundreds of questions. Make sure that they operate in the state that you operate in, and so that they're like wherever their business is mostly centralized. Because you can be certified in multiple states, but you really want them to be in your state. Um, yeah, I mean, ask him hundreds of questions. My accountant has been probably the most valuable resource that I've had building my business. And there's always, for me, I need to know each step of the process. And that's something like as a small business guy or or a small business girl, if you start a business, you need to learn every single part. You need to be able to do every job because it's only going to be you for a while. And for me, I even wanted to learn how to do bookkeeping and like do what he was doing because I wanted to make sure that it was right at the end of the year because I don't want to mess with taxes. The IRS terrifies me.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to make sure that you do everything right and that you do it legit. And yeah, definitely get a good accountant, and they are worth the money. I'm telling you.
Definitely.
Um, Maybe I'll shout out my accountant at the end because we do work in New York. I don't know how much
Shout him out. Shout him out now, man.
personal stuff he does these days, mostly business. But John Coupel, I will have to send a link. He's old school, so anyway, yeah, John Coupel.
John Coupel. We should be shouting him out.
Okay.
Anybody out there looking for an accountant?
Yeah.
Mike just gave you a plug. He just gave you a connect. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. Connecting people to resources.
If anyone needs contact info, just shoot me a DM on Instagram and I'll send it to you guys. Okay. I think the next thing, and I'm still tackling this, is advertising. Advertising is really hard. There's a lot of like people that will just run ads on Facebook, and like I was saying, I have to know how to do everything. So just paying some people to run an ad for me, like it's just not how I operate. It's not going to satisfy me. Like I know I want to learn like the secrets behind how to get like good click through rates and all that stuff on your ads. So what I'm doing right now is I actually wrote a script to get a commercial shot. I'm gonna be working with my buddy Michael Zayak, who's a videographer or a cinematographer. Sorry, he's like shot commercials with like BMW and stuff. He's nuts.
Wow.
Anyway, so I wrote a script for that. I'm gonna try to get a commercial done. I just need to get some computers together, and I'm gonna use. I'm probably gonna create a couple pieces of content at different lengths for a commercial for that. That's my plan right now, and I'm pretty excited for that.
So hold up. Can we debut the commercial on 52 Tuesdays?
When it comes out,
before it goes on Facebook, YouTube, or
yeah.
Can we
Sure.
Can we debut it here on 52 Tuesdays?
We are debuting it here on 52.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. So listen, when my man Big Mike comes out with his commercial, he's going to be the first commercial launched. You know what I'm saying? I might do one. You know what I mean? Because I still got to step into your greatness and everything. But listen, man, before it's anybody outside, Mike going to have that first slot, man. So I'm not going to run a commercial for nobody else until Mike's done with his. That's it.
Oh, shit. Now I feel like I'm rushed.
No, you're not rushed. Take your time, man. Perfection takes time. You know what I mean? You work it till it's right. It's okay. That's the one thing I say, and it's about being organic. It's like we're not in no rush to do anything. How it goes, it goes. I mean, we set plans and, we have an agenda and things that we want to accomplish, but we're not going to beat ourselves up throughout the process because we know that we're in this for the long haul. And a lot of times people think that success is a sprint, when in actuality, it's a marathon. It's a marathon. You know what I mean? So you have to train a little bit different. You're going to have to prepare yourself, on how to take those hills and, how to go, go off road and how to come back on road and, You know, so you
If
take
you're not pulling your hair out 5 nights a week when you first start your business, you're doing something wrong.
say that again, Mike.
Maybe 7 days a week.
You
Maybe
know,
7 days a week.
and that's the truth. To be honest with you, it really is. Because there's a lot of times,
Yeah,
man.
man. I mean,
There's sometimes I'm not gonna lie. Like when I think about the challenges I'm faced with inside of everything that I'm doing, there's some days I say,
yeah.
man, just go back to cutting hair. Life was so much easier.
Yeah, but is that all you want?
Exactly. I'm not. You
You
know
know,
what I
you
mean?
you have the thing about, I mean, not every, I mean, some, for some people, like, that is the answer, you know? Not everyone is meant to do this stuff, but some of us are called to do it, you know? And I
Mm-hmm.
think I really do believe, like, from the bottom of my heart, that you were called to do what you're doing right now.
Yeah.
I really do. I really do believe that. I feel like I saw that, like, probably within the first 10 minutes of talking to you. And that's like a lot of the reason why I decided to sponsor you, because I just felt like someone who's consistent, someone who's going to be making content consistently. 52 Tuesdays, you got the branding. I mean, you didn't need any of the branding or anything to begin with, you know?
Yeah.
You just had it like right away, man. And like when I saw that you went to that I think it was in Florida, you went to that public speaking,
Yeah. Dr. Delatoro
I can't remember
McNeil.
the name of it.
Yeah. Crush the stage with
Yeah, yeah,
Dr.
yeah, that guy.
Delamere. Yep.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
just so you
yeah.
guys know,
When I saw you
Go ahead. Go ahead.
when I saw you on stage, like, I couldn't even I couldn't, like, I could believe it, but I couldn't believe it. You know, I was like, wow. I was like, he is like, you are totally like growing into like who you are. I just thought that was so awesome, and I was like, all right, it's gonna happen. You know,
Yeah.
I had to do it. Yeah,
Yeah. And that's the thing too. Like at that moment, like I was like, okay, yeah, we on. But then it came
yeah,
back and it was like, yo, all that was a mountaintop experience. Now you got to go back into
mm,
the valley, put in the work, and then you got to climb to find the next mountain peak. Because like I was telling people,
yeah,
is the horizon is always moving. You know what I'm saying? Like the closer you get, the further you are away.
yep. The further, yep,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
It's
Because
always
you're
moving.
always going to be setting your sights on the next thing that has to be accomplished. But like for me, like
Yep,
like I say, when days I be feeling like quitting, that's what keeps me going.
mm,
That's what gives me my drive. Because one of the things that I've adapted is the mindset that if I quit, whose destiny am I cheating? You know what I mean? Because of the information and
yep,
the value that I'm trying to bring to the marketplace with the step into your greatness and introducing these faith-based principles to help people experience their personal transformation. Like if I don't do it, then who will? And there's other people that are out there doing it, but there are people that are in my community that are within my realm of influence that I have that responsibility to make sure that they get that information so that way we can really help them push and cultivate and develop their hopes, their dreams, and their goals to where they can become a reality.
yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
man. I can't, like, see, I don't even understand how, like, like, everything you just said, like, how did you deliver that? Like, I might be able to think of it, you know what I mean?
yeah.
I couldn't possibly get it, like, articulate it like that. You are just incredible,
Well,
man.
you know
It's
what?
honestly insane.
Shout out to many years of being trained by God and the Holy Spirit.
Yeah, man.
Because
Shout out God, man.
yeah, I
Jesus.
started out.
Literally.
I started out in the church. But it's crazy how you was talking about as a kid and the passion. Like I remember when I was in second grade, being Martin Luther King in a play, doing the "I Have a Dream" speech in Charlie School. You know what I mean? Up on the steps, and I mean, I nailed it. You know what I mean? Then I
Yeah, I
remember,
bet you
yeah,
did.
I remember being in, in plays in schools, and doing things like that. So, we never really know, when the gift is present. Like you said you started out, you was 10 years old, and you said you wanted to build computers.
I didn't even know what that meant.
You didn't even
I
know what
really
it
didn't know
meant,
what that meant.
and that's the crazy thing about it.
It's
And there's so many people that are
it's
out there right
crazy.
now that you've had a dream that you've been holding on to for so long that you don't even know it's a dream. You don't even know it's an
Yeah.
aspiration. You don't even know it's a hope. You don't even know it's a goal. You just know it's this thing that is there. And that's why we're doing this. So that way you guys can identify with these principles and these attributes of what creative minded individuals actually deal with and experience on their path to greatness. Because my boy said it to me the other day, because he goes back and forth with his son, and he wants his son to get a job and do things the traditional way. And his son said to him, he said, "Dad," he said, "I'm an artist." and you will never understand me, and that frustrates you.
Wow.
And you know, and that's like one of the things, like with us as entrepreneurs, like we can go to people and we can say, I'm an entrepreneur, and what you don't understand about me is what frustrates you. Because we're a certain,
that is really interesting.
we're a certain breed of people. Athletes are a certain breed of people. Artists are a certain breed of people. Entrepreneurs are a certain breed of people. Soldiers are a certain breed of people. So this is our tribe. This is who we're talking to. This is our tribe. This is our community. We're a part of the creatives, you know, and our minds work differently, you know. The way we see the world is differently. The way that our minds connect to solutions for everyday problems, you know, we operate on a different level. And one of the things that worked for me, like Mike's like, how did you say that like that? Is mentorship, man. You know, like I say, man, you know, I spent a lot of time, you know, being trained by God first, because the first thing I learned how to do was pray. My first experience in the church, Pastor Dillard used to always tell us, like, yo, pray, 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 pray. That was the biggest thing. So once I developed my prayer language, you know, speaking became easy. But I'll tell you, the single biggest catalyst right now for where I am today was me becoming a part of the 5-day Monetize Your Message Challenge with Dr. Delatoro McNeil. And then after going through that experience and then getting some clarity on my gift. See, that's the problem. A lot of us aren't operating in the full capacity of our gift because we lack clarity. So, you know, Dr. Delatoro.
Yeah, he opened your eyes. He opened your eyes.
Exactly. So then after that, I went
who you were.
Exactly. I went to the Crush the Stage in Florida, and that's where I was trained. So, you know, there's this thing like the discovery phase, but then there's the development phase. So, you know, Monetize Your Message helped me discover my gift. But when I went to Crush the Stage, that helped me develop my gift. You know, and that's one of the things, like, you know, Mike went from a stage of acknowledging that the gift was present, the desire was there, that the passion was there, and then you said you had a mentor. Your first mentor.
Yeah, I had multiple mentors throughout my life.
Exactly,
sure,
you know, so
on the business side, my dad and my current manager definitely.
Yeah, so you know, and
that's
that's why we're here, man, to give you guys, like, you may not be able to connect, you know, you may not be able to spend $10,000 to go see Dr. Delatoro to get trained to speak for 3 days, but you know what? I did, so I'm here to give it to you. Whatever you need, I'm here to give you. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I tell people all the time, I've developed some amazing relationships since I've started this journey, and we're going to put together a community where I'm going to put all these resources together underneath one roof, and I'm going to give you guys access to it all. Believe me, it's coming. Like, you know,
it's going to be on Discord.
And it's going to be on Discord, or we might even build our own app. I was told we should build our own app and have control of it. You know what I mean?
You could do that too.
Yeah, and we could
still use Discord as a tool for other things.
But listen, Mike, we got the resources, Mike. We got the resources.
We do.
That's what I'm saying. Like, in-house, between your knowledge and the tools that I have with my partners over there at Optimized Funnels, with Ivan Lee Jackson and Chris, you know, once we start connecting these dots and we start building these things, this thing is going to get crazy, man. It's going to get crazy. And the beautiful thing about it is this. We can make these services available to our community as well. So that's why I'm bringing Mike on, because, you know, if you need a computer, if you're a gamer, if you need something for your business, your company, you know, you need an IT guy, you need somebody that's going to do the follow-up. Like, yo, look no further. This is your guy. Like, you've heard him speak.
It's me. Hello.
You've heard him speak. For those of you that are in the business, you know the language. You know the verbiage that has to be used. And Mike is using all the right language. So, listen, man, I'm telling you, man, if you're out there and you have a need, and, you know, after you watch this interview, you know, feel free to reach out to him and develop the business relationship. And, you know, let's see where we can take this thing and help each other grow.
Yeah, please do. Please do. For those of you that do have Discord, you could join my Discord server. If you just go to my website, SIKPCs.com, and scroll all the way down, there's an invite button. You can get access to the Discord server. And my name in there is Mikey with a 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I go by online, is actually Mikey. Yep.
And listen, I tell people.
So let's try to get back to.
Now, I just wanted to tell people, yo, Discord is like an Instagram for geeks. How I found, how I made my way over there, I don't know. Because I've always been called a thug my whole life, but I guess I'm a geek now because I'm on Discord.
Yeah, you're a nerd for sure.
Go ahead, Mike.
All right. So being I was working full time, I had to figure out ways to automate the business, like up to the point of building computers. And I was saying before that I'm already at this point, but I didn't actually tell you guys why or how I got there. So obviously, I had a ton of real world experience with Excel at this point. So I knew that it would be an essential tool for running the business. And then, like, after hundreds of hours, I'm not kidding, hundreds of hours, like multiple iterations, probably, I think I use different Excel sheets now that all work together. And finally, in under 2 minutes, I'm able to track and update the prices of over 150 different parts that I would use in a computer. I'm not all 150 go in a computer. I'm just saying there's 150 different parts to choose from, that I choose from. Um, yeah, in under 2 minutes, I can update all those prices. I was able to create product pages for levels 1 through 10 that dynamically and automatically choose parts based on availability and compatibility. So if there's a part that's out of stock, my spreadsheet automatically picks a different one and then it gets updated on my website. It's very interesting. It took me forever. Like I said, I'm not kidding. I literally spent hundreds of hours in it. Anyone that knows me personally can attest to that. Brenda, she would always walk in and ask me. I actually stopped playing video games and like because I was so locked in on this. It's like all I wanted to do, and I referred to it as spreadsheeting. It was like all I would say. She'd come in, "What are you doing?" Spreadsheeting. I'd be in there for like 5 6 hours straight, just working on this because I had this clear vision of exactly what I wanted. And for me, with everything in life, I'm always whenever there's something that I want, I always look at the end result and I try to work backwards. Like where did they start from to get to this,
Reverse
and for
engineering.
me, yeah, I had the goals, like I had like the ideas, like this is what I want to do, but what are all the things that I need in order to get there? What do I need to do, So that's where I ended up with all these spreadsheets and stuff because like I was saying before, transparency and fair pricing was something that I needed. Like I that was what was going to separate me from everybody else. The transparency, fair pricing for the customer and for me, the customer service, and the after sale presence. That was what was going to separate me, and it does. I believe that it does separate me from my competition.
All right. So those of you that
So
are out there listening, right? He just gave you a nugget. Find something inside of your business that's going to separate you from your competition.
otherwise, you're going to be just like everybody else. You
Mm.
see, like multiple pizza places open, right? And you see, I love pizza, by the way. So if you couldn't tell, but you'll see multiple pizza places open in the same area, and you'll see them close, and then another one comes in and opens. But there's one staple. Like one instance for me, uh, was Village Pizza. They ended up moving, unfortunately. But Village, I was talking to George about this before. That
Mm-hmm.
Village Pizza in Montague, when they were in the strip mall by ShopRite, was the best. And like you saw all these other pizza places like in the area in Matamoros opening. They're just not good. They're closing. There's people that are driving 40, 50 minutes just to go get pizza from Village. I'm sure it's the same thing with like Len Joe's and stuff in Port. You got to separate yourself from your competition. If you're doing the same thing as everybody else, or if you're doing it cheaper than them, but their quality's better, or maybe your quality's better, but you're cheaper than them, you're probably going to run yourself out of business because you're not making any money. You got to make money too. So you got to have long term goals and then slowly work towards them because none of this stuff happens overnight. You have to spend a ton of time, a lot of energy. You're gonna lose sleep. You can't sleep 8 hours and build a small business. It's not happening. You're sleeping like 4 to 6 hours a night, and I mean maybe for some people even less than that.
Yo, Mike, are you
Man,
really sleeping though? Because
when I was
your brain is running a mile, is running a mile a minute. So we're really not sleeping. Our eyes are closed, but we're not getting the rest that
yeah, I
we
mean
need.
it's funny that you mentioned that because I would always have my best ideas right as I was about to fall asleep. And a lot of times, like you can ask Brenda this, I would just get up out of bed and I would just go downstairs and I'd write it down or I'd like take a note on my phone real quick and then pass back out. And I had this like specific notes section in my phone that I would write all of those ideas on, and then I would just go back to them, and I would, if I completed them, I'd erase them. And then I have, you just keep writing, keep writing all the things that you want to do, and then slowly, as you cross them off as you accomplish them.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping a list of stuff like that's like really
All
important,
right. So
because you're gonna have a million things going on around you.
So I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
I'm gonna stop you right there real quick. So like this is why I tell people the way that I constructed Step Into Your Greatness. There's a lot of room for you to write in there. So as you're reading things and you're getting this information, like the wheels in your mind should be turning. You should be getting those downloads. And one of the first step of making anything a reality, you know what I mean, is by capturing every thought and writing it down. That's the first step of taking something from the immaterial realm to bringing it to the material realm. So when you get a thought, when you get an idea, like you have to know, like, where that came from, man. That came from another realm or dimension, you know what I mean? And it was planted in your mind. So now what you do is you write that thing down and you develop a plan to make it happen. That's why I'm saying, like, yo, this thing could really, really get deep if we want to, but they ain't ready for all that. So I ain't even going to hit them with all that. But, this is one of the things where I say success leaves clues. We talked with Jay Eline a couple of weeks ago, and he was saying that's the way, he would get his. He said he'd be in the middle of the night, or he'd be asleep, and then all of a sudden he'll wake up with a formula for a new product, and then he'll write
Yep.
it. He'll
No,
write
it
it.
really happens like that too.
Yeah, and he'll
They're
write
the
it
best
down,
ones.
and he'll write it down, and then he goes to work until it's accomplished, and then crosses it off the list. The same exact thing that you just said, man. So I think that's an interesting point. One of the things that Dr. Del Toro teaches us is, right, sometimes when you say something nice, be sure to say it twice. So, Mike, there's a lot of things that you said were real nice. I'm going to need you to say it twice so that way I don't have to interrupt you, because I don't like keeping interrupting you. But, like, yo, you're dropping a lot of valuable information here tonight. You're giving the people a lot of game. You know what I mean? So I just want to make sure that they're grasping and they're catching all of these nuggets, all these gems, and all these jewels that you're leaving for them. And how old are you, Mike?
28. I really don't remember how old I am anymore
Wow.
these days, honestly.
28
though.
28
I'm turning
years old.
29 July 31st. Yep.
Wow. So, so by many standards, man, Mike is still considered to be a young man. You know what I mean? Like me, I know I didn't become a
I'm
man.
feeling old, but yeah, I'm a young,
Well, I tell
yeah.
people all the time, man, I didn't become a man until I was 30. Sammy was good. I didn't become a man until I was 30. So, but yeah, Mike is really putting out some good information here for you guys to really grab a hold of. I really hope that you're taking notes and paying close attention to everything that he's saying, because by the time we're done with this interview, like, you're going to have a lot of stuff that you can be able to go and you can act upon, or it's going to give you confirmation to some things that may have been going on, inside of your head that you just couldn't understand or be able to dissect and figure out where it was taking you in life. So, and that's why I'm saying Step Into Your Greatness, 52 Tuesdays, J Vega 360, SIKPCs. Like, yo, we're a community of entrepreneurs. We're a community of creators. We're a community of dreamers. You know what I mean? And the thing about it is like this: as we create this community, and we all, yo, Rose, this is Mike, Tommy Rose. I want you two to connect. Yo, Tommy, I need you to connect with my man, Big Mike. Mike got some resources, and he's doing some things that I think can greatly benefit your business in a major way. So give him a follow, and you two chop it up in the DM afterwards. And I'm excited to see what's going to come out of this. You know what I'm saying?
Hit me up, Tommy.
Yeah, my man Tommy has like a staffing agency. And he's
okay.
Yeah, he's got some things going, man, and very, very smart individual as well, young man. And I'm gonna get Tommy on here one day on 52 Tuesdays as well. Another client of mine that I met here in the shop, and we just had some amazing conversations. So now you guys can see how a lot of this is birthed. It's in the barbershop. I'm getting ready to connect.
It really is.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to connect two people that I know that once they get together, it's going to take both of their businesses to a whole nother dimension. Believe me when I tell you, I wouldn't connect them if it wasn't so. You know, I believe that, you know, my man Rose jump, you know, it says Tommy, I call him Rose. That's my man Rose. He pull up to the barbershop in the Porsche. You know what I'm saying? Yo, my man be taking trips. Yo, yeah, he pull up to the barbershop in the Porsche. You know what I'm saying? My man be taking trips. That's my guy. He's doing his thing. You know what I'm saying?
And I like Porsches, you know.
Yeah, yeah, but he's a husband, a family man as well, but he's an entrepreneur and a businessman. And I think if you guys develop a business relationship, man, it would definitely benefit you both in a major way, especially with what you bring to the table, Mike. Rose, get with him, man. So go ahead, man. I don't want to interrupt you, but I had to take advantage of that opportunity.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm almost through my timeline, I think.
No, you go ahead, man. We're in no rush.
What was I talking about? Oh yeah, so at that point I had created a web page for each of my each tier or level of my PCs, and they go from 1 to 10, and all of it. Uh, oh yeah, the Excel sheet was like automatically choosing the parts based on availability and compatibility. So I was able to accomplish that, and then also my most recent thing that I did was allowing customers to choose variants on their computers. So some people only want 16 gigs of RAM. Some people want 32. Some people want an RTX 4080 in their computer. Some people want an RTX 3060, stuff like that. Some people need a lot of storage. Some people don't. So I was able to automate the pricing for all of that. So when you go on the website and you're choosing a computer, you can click different options. And I think that's my most recent accomplishment. Basically, when you add a variant into a Shopify store, because that's where my website's based off of. One, if you have a couple different combinations, you can have hundreds of different like actual products. So that was really hard to figure out the formulas in Excel to be able to calculate the pricing and stuff, especially considering transaction fees and making sure that I'm still getting paid and that all that stuff. It was really hard, but I nailed it one night. I remember me and Brenda were watching TV, and I just stood up and I'm like, I just got an idea. I think I finally figured it out. A lot of times when you're working really hard on something for your business and you spend too much time on it, you can burn out and your wheels stop turning. But really, all you need is to just go refresh and just take some time away from it, even though it's something that you will feel like this thing deserves all and requires all of your time. You still need to take care of yourself. If you don't take a break, if you don't give yourself a break, you're doing yourself a disservice. You need to give yourself a break. So that was one thing that I had done, and whenever I would give myself a break, it always took less than like 24 hours. There would just be the thing that I was working so hard on to try and figure out would come to me when I'm not even working on it. And I think that honestly is like a major key. So for those of you that are busting your ass on your business and you're really trying to figure out a problem, or you're trying to come up with a business plan or something, just take a step back, take care of yourself, and try it again in the morning.
Yeah,
And a lot of times you're not even doing it, it'll come right to you.
yeah, and that's one of the things too, man, is, a lot of times I think we neglect the aspect of the mental health toll that entrepreneurship can take on you. How it could,
Yeah,
and
man.
one of the things I love is that you constantly highlight your I'm gonna call her your wife, you know what I mean? Because although that's your queen, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got a child together, you have a home together, that's your wife. That's your helpmate. The two shall
Yes.
become one, you know what I mean? And I love the way that you constantly highlight her and you give her recognition, because I'm sure she's a big part of the process as well, in terms of you getting things done and having to deal with everything that you go through as well. But a lot of the things, and that's why I'm glad that you touched on that point, is because a lot of times people don't never talk about the toll that success takes on your mental health in the journey. And I'm glad that you talked
Yeah,
about that.
Brenda's really,
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Mike.
it really does take a toll.
Yeah, yeah, and it does, and
Yeah.
that's one of the things.
And
That's
it
what.
can take a real toll on your family too.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, Brenda's a rock, you know.
And that's awesome, man.
Go ahead, George.
No, and
You can
that's
finish.
that's one of the things, man. It's like the toll that it can take on you, the effect that it could have on your family and your home life. A lot of us that are out here that are entrepreneurs, we have day jobs, we have significant others, we have children, we have everyday responsibilities. We're trying to build a business, and sometimes, like Mike was saying, sometimes you just got to know when to step away. That's why sometimes you'll see me. I say, "Yo, no 52 Tuesdays." I know there's 52 weeks in a year. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, you can't call it 52 Tuesdays if you ain't do 52 of them. Listen, man, some of these Tuesdays need to be mental health breaks.
You do 52. It's just not in a row.
Yeah, yeah, because you guys, you have to understand, man, that, it's going to take a toll on you because the law of sacrifice comes in play. You're always going to be sacrificing something. There's always going to be something that you're going to be exchanging. And generally, you're going to be exchanging something that you already have for something that you think that you want. And a lot of times you may get to it and realize, like, okay, this isn't what I thought it was going to be when I got here, And that's a part of the
Yeah.
process.
And it's
Go ahead.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, Brenda's been my rock, for a long time. We've been together for 13 years. Started dating in high school when we were juniors. And you know, she's always been supportive of me. I from way back in the day all the way till now, all my crazy ideas that I come up with, she's always very supportive, and I appreciate her so much for that. She really pushed me unknowingly, because she didn't do it on purpose, but she really pushed me to better myself, and really pushed me to get motivated enough to really do this thing. And she's made me such a better person because of it. She's allowed, I don't want to say it's not like directly her doing, because obviously I have to do the actions too. I'm just saying that I don't know if I would have ended up like this if it wasn't for her. So
Yeah.
if you're watching, babe, thank you so much. I love you.
Nah, that's what's up, man.
Um, this cat is meowing in my ear behind me.
It's okay. I just got a
Keeps
cat, man.
distracting me.
Yeah, you see, I just got a cat. That's all he does is meow.
Yeah,
Meow, meow. But I
yeah,
love it,
yeah.
man. He
He's a
keeps
black cat too. He's beautiful,
Yeah,
beautiful.
he keeps me company, man. I got somebody to keep me company now. So if you don't see me outside smoking a cigar, that's because I got company in the house now.
Yeah, it's really good, man. I
Yeah,
love, I love animals.
yeah.
I've had so many cats. I mean, this is this guy actually. I got him and his brother for Brenda when we were dating for 2 months. So 2010. Where are we now? 2023. So he's 13. It's crazy. I can't believe how time flies, man.
And that's another thing, man.
My
Time.
daughter's 7 months old. That is mind blowing to me. I can't believe how fast time is flying.
Yeah. And that's another thing we have to be mindful of too, man. Is like, when we get caught up in the grind
Yes.
about how
Yes.
fast time flies and what are we actually missing. So,
Yeah.
we got to learn literally. And this is one of the things that I wanted to ask you about, Mike, because you being so young, having a business, having a wife, having a home, having a child, having a full-time job, dealing with, whatever you got to deal with on a personal basis. Like, how do you create that work, family, business, life balance? Like, what are some of the things that you do so that way you can prioritize that?
Okay, so every day, no matter what, there's always some sort of rest scheduled, whether it's gaming at the end of the night or going to bed early or just relaxing and watching TV, something like that. Uh, I always make sure that I take care of myself at the end of the day. I could probably take better care of myself. I can definitely exercise more and all that stuff, but you really just need to give your mind and your body a rest. What else? The other things that I do, um, I have a routine, and being that I have ADHD, I need routine. Otherwise, I'm a mess. And Brenda really does help me with this. My day starts. I could definitely wake up earlier and do some more work, but I don't know. I just I'm some of my things that I have to do require more than me just waking up early. So it's not really going to help me right now. But anyway, so wake up at 6:30. I dress Willow for the day for daycare. I go downstairs. I get my overnight oats and my water, and I go to work. And then when I go through the day, usually on my lunch break, I'm working on something for the business. whether it's just updating parts prices or something like that, and eating my lunch. Uh, and then when I go home, it's really structured. So I get home at like 6 o'clock and make dinner, hang out with Willow until 8, put Willow to bed at 8 o'clock, and usually until 9. And then from 9 until whenever I go to bed is the time that's allotted for whatever I need to do. So that's pretty much my day. I think
Okay.
structure is really important for those of you that are just struggling to find time. I mean, I have I have a lot going on. Some people work multiple jobs and they're trying to build a business on the side. But for my specific case, just having that structure and that 2 to 3 hours per night at the end of the night is really where the grind happens for me. I get most of my work done at night anyway. Um, it's just naturally how when I work best. I don't know. I feel like I can concentrate the best at night. So
Okay, so that's an
that's what I
important
do.
thing, guys. Creating structure, finding out what works best for you. You know what I mean? Because not everything that everybody teaches you or what everybody's going to impress upon you may work for you. So you got to find what works for you. You got to find that work family life balance and put everything in perspective. Keep the first things first and keep what's really important, towards the forefront of your life. So that way you don't lose sight of the things that you really value on this journey. Because I'm telling you, man, the minute you say
Yep.
yes to this lifestyle, it's gonna require a lot of you. It's gonna take more
Swallows
from
you
you. Yeah,
if you let it.
it's going to take more from you than what you expect. And I'm only telling you from experience. Because when I set out to do this, like for me, one of the things that I realized, and I'll share this with you being transparent, so I'm going through a divorce, I live on my own. So, creating this, like, the J Vega 360 52 Tuesdays, it was something to fill my time, to keep my mind off the reality of where my life was at that current moment.
Yeah, it was an escape for you. It was almost
Exactly.
therapeutic for you,
So the
like
thing
moving
about it
towards.
is
Yeah.
this, right? I have an addictive personality. I know that about my personality, that once I start something, I have to go all the way in, right? So like with any other form of addiction, right? Yo, this is so crazy because I don't
Say
care if,
something in the chat if you have an addictive personality.
yeah, like I
I'm
don't
pretty
care.
sure
I don't
most of
care if
us
you're
do.
doing drugs or if you're in the gym or if you're like too much of anything is going to be too bad for you.
It's it's true.
So this is where we talk about that balance, man. And this is so key. And this is something that I'm learning in this phase of my journey is about creating the balance because like I said, what happens when the dream becomes the nightmare? How many entrepreneurs have ever, had that point in your walk or in your journey to where the dream actually turned into a nightmare? And you
Man,
just
if you don't take your time, it can definitely go there. Slow
exactly.
and steady, man.
So
That's
that's
what you
why
got to
that's
do.
why I'm telling you guys about, creating balance and like Mike said, having that structure and how important it is and just making sure you keep what's really important, at the forefront of your life and don't lose sight. Like because a lot of what we see on social media and what we see is smoke and mirrors, man. It's a lot of hype out there, man. Like my
It's
guy,
all smoke and
yeah,
mirrors,
it's like
man.
it's like my guys from the collective always say, there's a lot of great marketers out there. You know what I mean? There's a lot of great marketers, but for the guys that really do this, that are really about that life, like, yo, it's blood, sweat, and tears, baby. You know what I'm saying? It's blood, sweat, and tears. And it's just the nature of the business. It's the nature of the game. But that's what we want to do. We want to highlight this stuff to you, the stuff nobody else is talking about. These are the things that we want to bring to the forefront so that way you get an accurate description of what this lifestyle really is like. When you decide to
Mm.
step into your greatness and become all that it is that you were created to be. Doesn't mean that, like even roses have thorns, right, Mike?
Oh yeah, absolutely,
You know what I mean? Like as beautiful as the
absolutely.
rose is, as sweet as it may smell to your nose and and how it's a thing that when you give it to somebody it can melt their heart, you know what I mean? But if you touch that rose in the wrong place, if you're not careful with handling that rose, that thing will prick you. And that's kind of
Yeah,
like
I
what's
think that the rose analogy is good because if you can apply it to what we were talking about earlier, how if you get like so focused on that goal and you finally accomplish that thing, but you sacrificed everything around you in order to reach the goal, you might get the goal or get to your goal and then say, well, you don't have anyone to share your success with or whatever, you know. So you got
Yep,
to make sure you take care of the people that are supporting you on the journey also.
definitely, man, definitely. So go ahead, man. Where you at in the journey? Where you at in your timeline? Because I know you got a timeline. Yo, my man Mike is prepared. Mike don't play no games.
Uh I do play games. That's actually
Well, you know what
where
I
I'm at
mean.
now. I'm playing a lot of Diablo 4. That's what I'm doing. That's where most of my time has been going recently.
Is that a new
Just
game
playing a
that's on the
lot,
market?
playing
Is
this
that
game. I've been
the
waiting.
new hype, the new game?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a new game. It's a game that's been it's been out for only like a couple weeks, but it was in development for about 10 years. And I don't know if you remember, but one of the first games that I talked about playing was Diablo 2, and that came out in 2000. So I played that game for a long time, and now Diablo 4 is out, and it's kind of going back to its roots, and it's really good. Any of my gamers that are playing D4, definitely say something.
Yeah, my gaming days ended in with the PlayStation when my nephews got good enough to beat me at Madden and starting talking junk to me. That's when I quit.
Yeah,
I don't like
yeah.
to lose.
Neither do I. Neither do I. I feel I the losing thing is like what motivates me to get better. I get like super obsessed. That's how I was when I was playing Call of Duty a lot.
Wow.
Anyway, I mean, where am I on the timeline right now? Right now, I'm just like trying to figure out this commercial thing. Uh, I haven't made too many moves on it other than writing a script. Um, I just want to sell some computers, man. Just get some people into some gaming PCs and just I really love like the look on people's face. One when they see the computer and two when they use it to play. I mean, especially people coming from like consoles like Xbox or PlayStation. Going to a nice gaming computer is like a totally different ball game. It's
Yeah.
so much better.
Yeah. Well, and that's one of the things I say is good too, to
I,
where we can add value to each other. Like, you're getting ready, focus on the commercials. That's the next step for me, is focusing on commercials. So,
yep.
let's learn together.
Advertising. I
Yeah,
think that's
that's the key,
that's the journey I'm going to
What
start
they
next.
say,
I'm pretty
marketing
sure.
is the lifeblood to every business. You know what I mean? And advertising falls within your marketing budget.
Yeah.
So
And let me tell you, I don't know a damn thing about marketing or about marketing or about ads or anything like that. So I got a lot of work to do.
yeah. Well, we got a lot of work to do. We could do it together. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like, and that's the
Oh
thing,
yeah.
man. One team, one dream. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's work together, man. Let's work together and let's build something. It's like, so now, like I said, my man Rose was on here. Now we learn how to do the
Yeah,
advertising in the commercials. Now that's an added service. That's added value that we can bring to the table to our community to help people
mm,
facilitate their process. We're all learning and growing together. Ain't nobody here claiming to be no experts or no gurus. We're just saying like, yo, this is the process. We like
yeah.
to find solutions towards everyday problems that exist within our business. And by doing that,
Yep,
once you're able to solve a problem, people pay you when you can solve a problem inside of their life or inside of their business.
yep.
So,
Just make their lives easier.
yeah, so now that becomes something else that we can add to our wheelhouse, that we can put in our toolbox, and it's something else that we can offer and we say that we can do. And then that just adds to the value that our community creates. Like, you guys got to see
Absolutely.
this stuff and how it works. So what's next for
Yeah, I
six
think like being
PCS?
transparent about it.
Yeah, what's next for
What's
six? Yeah,
next?
after the commercials and stuff like that. I mean, how far do you really want to go with this? Like, I mean, because now
It's
you're
a really
helping
good
me.
question.
Yeah, you're helping me now with the broadcasting. Like, you're like a broadcasting engineer. I'm sitting here looking at this setup and looking at everything that you got here, and my head is still spinning. I get anxiety. Yeah, I get anxiety looking
No,
at
I
this
know, I
stuff, man.
know.
Like, but it's
It's
like,
funny because I know how you feel, man. I know how exactly how you feel. When I used to look at that stuff back in the day, it made my brain hurt, but like I had to figure it out. I had to. I just put the time in and just learned about it. Watched tons of videos on YouTube. I mean, YouTube, you can YouTube anything these days. It's really insane. Back in the day when it was like a new tool, it's like, wow, this is the greatest thing ever. But it's like for everything. You want to know how to get good at golf, you can just watch a YouTube video, It's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
But where am I going next? I mean, it's it's a question that I think about a lot because I ask myself this question a lot. The next stage of the business is going to be painful because uh, it's really going to be a timing thing. And really, like, the next step is to get, like, have enough volume to be able to get into a bigger space. Um, and I don't know, I would probably rent like a garage or like a warehouse, or like maybe if we moved, because we're thinking about buying another house. If we moved, I would be able to work out of a garage that we would hopefully have, um, and then just progressively scale from there. I have a couple friends that really are ready. Once I get the volume, I have friends that are ready to come on board and like really run this thing. So
Wow. So
I don't know. That's kind of
yeah.
where I'm headed. How big do I want it to be? I really I don't ever want to be the person that's just a boss that like sits behind a desk. I want to be involved and like always be building computers. So I'd like the business to run itself and then me be able to go in and build a computer if I feel like it. That's what I want to do. That's like the end goal.
All right.
So I got a lot of time in order for that to happen, but that is what I want to do.
And you've
I
already
think.
taken the steps. Like, listen to the way he was talking about those Excel sheets. Like, yo, he showed me this, man, how this stuff
Yep.
automatically. And I'm like, what is that connected to? How does that happen? Like, I'm just trying to
Yeah.
wrap my mind
Yeah.
around it.
It's crazy.
Yo, I'm looking at this in real
Dude.
time, and I'm like, how is that even possible? Like, because I'm
Yeah.
looking at numbers.
Excel's like a puzzle, you know?
Yeah, I'm looking at numbers on the screen, but there's something that's in operation and on the back office that's causing those numbers to change, to automatically update. Like
Yeah.
he created automation inside of his business. He's not saying he went out there and bought somebody else's program or that he used some other software. Like, no, he created it himself inside of Excel, based out
Yeah,
of a
it's pretty cool.
necessity, inside of his business. He created a system that would automate his pricing for his customers so that way it can align with the vision that he had for his company in terms of the transparency.
Transparency.
Mike, man, I don't think
Yeah, I had to. I didn't have an option.
I don't think you understand
I'm
like
sorry, say.
the how like how major that is, though, that you was able to do that you was that's big, bro. Like, because there's companies that are out there. There are people out there that get paid to develop software for businesses like that to be able to help them automate
Yeah.
and run and scale. And you did this on your own inside of your business.
Yeah, man. I would really like to be able to sell it to other businesses, you know? I think that was another thing. Because I still look at my competition. I check my competition out all the time. And I still see that they're using the same old stuff and they're not
Yeah.
really improving all that much. And I just know that I have a solution for them. I just need to be able to figure out how to like trademark it and like maybe get it out of Excel and into its own program, do
Yeah.
some software engineering and stuff.
Well, this
All
is good
stuff that
though.
I might do down the
But
road, you know?
listen, this is good though, because this is where I get to introduce you to Ivan and Chris over at Optimized Funnels.
Mm,
And Chris is the techie guy. Like me and Ivan, we click. You know what I'm saying? Because we're the
yeah.
creatives, and we love the e-commerce and the marketing. But he's got his partner Chris, that's the techie guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I said, I gotta introduce him to Mike, because I know once you
Yeah.
get with them and the things that you got going on, and being that they're already in that space of
Yep.
optimization, you know what I mean? Like I said, it's just gonna be
I love
crazy.
that word.
Yeah, so that's the thing, man, about connecting dots and connecting resources. So once you build your community, the people that you have in the community, you create your own economic circle amongst each other by just working with each other.
Mm.
And we don't even
Yeah,
have
it's
to go
exciting,
we
man.
don't even have to go outside our circle, because everything is in house. Now we're just, I'm
Yeah.
going to be attracting clients that I'm going to point to you to be able to build, to help you build your business, and you're helping me build my business. And this is just the way that the cycle works. You know what I mean? It's just,
Yep.
like they say, like the Jews, like, or the Chinese, or, one of those ethnic groups, how the money has to change hands 7 times inside of their own community before it leaves and goes outside of their community.
I never heard that before, but that's that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's what that's what I heard, how a lot of those communities work, that the money has to generate, you know what I mean, like 7 times within their own community before it exits their community. How they keep track of it, I don't know, but I understand the philosophy of it, because it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, man, and that's just how you build an economy, by keeping the money moving, by keeping a steady flow of business, and We're constantly connecting people to resources, and that's a big part of what I want to do. That's my vision is, listen, man, I'm the plug. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I got the connects. Who you need? What you need? Talk to me, man, because we're going to have everything from credit to investing to financial advisors, life insurance, e-commerce, branding, funnels, like
Everything.
real estate, like whatever you want, we're going to have it in that J Vega 360 community. Trust and believe
It's going
me.
to be like a business building hub.
Exactly,
You can
exactly,
do whatever you want.
exactly,
What do you want to do? All
and
right.
I'm so
Here's your
happy
guy.
to have Mike, be a part of this. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, right now Mike is a sponsor. My goal is to make Mike a partner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
we got to
yo,
talk.
yeah,
We got to
we
talk.
gonna talk about, like, that's my goal. It's like, because yo, like, you're a big part of this. We starting from the bottom. It's like, yo, take a piece of the pie. You know what I'm saying? I can't afford to pay
I
you
know,
what
and
I can't afford to pay you what you're
you're
worth.
gonna have to force it on me.
No, but my thing is this though, I'm listening, and I hear the value
Not
that
many
you
can, George.
but I hear the value that you provide, and it's like, yo, I can't afford to pay this guy what he's worth. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, man, here, take a piece of the pie, baby. You know what I'm saying? Equity. Equity, because we don't know how far this thing is going to
Equity. I
go.
like that.
And when you have equity,
Yeah.
it causes people to work that much harder because now they have ownership. And a lot of times when you're an
Hmm.
entrepreneur or a business owner, a lot of times people don't be wanting to give up equity to the people that are helping them. Like, nah, man, I don't want
Yeah.
followers. I don't want workers. Like, yo, let's do this together, man. I'd rather have a small piece than have nothing at all. And I know that,
Yep.
we need each other in order to survive. We need each other in order to grow. So, I'm excited about the future. I really am. You
I
know
am
what I
too.
mean? Like, I'm really excited about the future. I'm excited about the prospects for you, not only as a businessman, but as a husband and as a father. You know what I mean? Like, that's first and foremost, the most important thing for
What a
me.
journey.
Yeah, that's the most important thing for me, in terms of our relationship is just, seeing you flourish first as a husband, because that's the biblical order. And secondly, as a father, and making sure that your home is, and then from there, man, the business is just going to explode because, everything is done in decency and order. So, but I'm extremely excited for you. I'm excited for your business. I'm excited for your family. I'm excited for what we have going on, and and the prospects of where we can really go with this, man. Did you freeze
George, me
up?
too, man.
Yeah,
I really am.
yeah.
Can't wait to see where we're going. Huh?
No, go
Did
ahead.
I?
No, it looked like you froze for a
Did
minute.
I? Did I freeze?
Mm.
Oh. 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 No, I was just still.
Yeah,
uh, yeah, I'm really excited for the future too, man. I can't wait. I wish I could just get a glimpse of what it looks like. 10, even just 10 years down the road. Just so I could see like how I can reverse engineer it, and then I would just end up finding out that we're already doing what we're supposed to be doing.
exactly.
That's how I feel.
Yes. Another question I wanted to ask you, right? Because we had this conversation, and I'm a man of faith. I'm not a religious person. I'm not a perfect person. You know what I mean? I'm a believer. You know what I'm saying? I got to walk this thing out every day just like everybody else. If you're looking for
Yeah.
perfect, you better look in another direction cuz I'm going to let you down. 9 times out of 10. You know what I mean? But me and Mike
Yeah, I'm
also,
not perfect either.
yeah, me and Mike had this conversation about faith one day. And you was talking about your
Mm.
background and some of the things that you were dealing with and the things that you were struggling with, but how you've been able to overcome because there's been a shift in your perspective per se.
Yeah.
Do you want to touch on that? Do you feel comfortable talking about that? Because that's a big part of what we do here as well.
I won't go too
No,
deep.
you don't
I'll
have to.
I'll
No,
I'll
you could
brush the
just,
surface.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so growing up, I grew up Catholic. I was an altar boy. I was a lector. I used to do like the readings at church and stuff. Church was just a thing that we did every Sunday. But I went to CCD as a kid in school. But really, at the time, even after I received confirmation, none of it really meant anything to me because I was just told what God was, and I couldn't really connect the dots and like relate to uh, what God was. And I feel like a lot of kids my age felt the same way. There's no like in my eyes, like there's no way your kids can possibly like have any kind of clue what God really is. Um, until they become an adult and they experience life. For me, I still I don't question whether there is a God or not. It's not really where I'm at. I acknowledge the fact that there is, uh, if not God, something, you know. Um, and for me, I just notice things that happen sometimes, and I'm like, I don't want to think that I have like main character syndrome or something, but sometimes the stars just align, and when you notice when the stars align, it doesn't seem like it's by coincidence. Sometimes it seems like they were put that way, and I don't know if I want to talk about fate or whatever, but I don't know. Recently, especially within the last 2 years, man, things have just been like happening. Uh, just like weird timings and stuff, and I'm just like noticing, I really my faith has definitely been strengthened. I could definitely say that. So that's where I'm at right now
It's a beautiful thing, man.
in my
That's a
journey.
beautiful thing. See, and that's the thing, like he said, in his journey is personal. Your journey with God, your faith walk is personal. It ain't got nothing to do with nobody else, man. Like God will reveal himself to you in a way that he wants you to know him. You know what I'm saying? Like, believe me when I tell you,
Mhm.
so I just wanted to highlight that because, not everybody's in the same place. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want people to think that, like, oh, because, oh, he's a Christian. Nah, man. Like, yo, I accept people where they're at. You know what I mean? Where they're at in their faith walk, where they're at in their belief systems. And I just try to let my light shine. You know what I mean? Like, so, I'm thankful for you for sharing that, Mike. You know what I mean? Because I want people to see that, we don't all have to be in the same place in life in order to be going to the same place in life. You understand what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
don't have to be in the
Yep.
same place in order to go to the same place.
Yeah.
Because
Because
because yeah,
we're all
because
starting in different places. Just
exactly.
the
And there's
destination's the same.
exactly. And there's a piece of my journey that you're going to need and there's a piece of your journey that I'm going to need, and that's why we're all on different
Yeah.
paths. But when we can come together and we can connect as a community and we can begin to share our experiences, share our knowledge, uh, excuse me, share our resources, then we begin to fill the gaps in each other's lives and different things begin to make sense. And that's all any of us are out here trying to do.
Yeah.
We're trying to make sense of this thing called life because it can get a little tricky sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, like I said, the reason I really set out on this is because the amount of people that I lost in the last couple of years, mainly to drug overdoses. You know what I'm saying? Why do people run to drugs? Because they're looking for an escape. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to
Yep.
put a band-aid over a wound or, so, this is why we're here. And to be a creative, to be in business, these are some of the things that connect us, but there's an overall larger mission that is at hand. And it's about helping each other grow and become the best version of ourselves, for our wives, for our children, for our families, for our community, and overall just to make the world a better place, So, I just wanted to put that out there, Mike, and I just wanted to, bring it back, to so people can actually see that, this is a big part of the thing because, faith is the number one principle that grants us access into the dimension of the unknown. In
Mm.
order for us to experience anything that we've yet seen or accomplished, it's going to take faith. Right? And a lot of people, like, they say, well, how do you know a God's there? Well, how do you know that thing that you want to do is actually possible? You believe. And once you believe,
It's the only way.
once you believe, what you believe in begins to become attracted to you. And that's why you see people, they do
It's true, man.
affirmations.
It's like people always say manifesting and stuff like that. Yeah,
Exactly,
it's very
exactly.
much.
So, and that's the thing, man. We just want to challenge you to believe. A lot of people have lost their dreams, they've lost their hopes, they've lost their ambition, they lost their goals, they lost their drive, they've lost, the will to get up each and every day and continue to fight for that thing that they've seen so vividly in their mind. And we just want to encourage you, man. Like, faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things that have not yet been seen. You know what I'm saying? And, that's how we're operating. We're operating by faith. We walk by faith and not by sight. So, if it's easy for us to believe in something that we've yet to accomplish, let me challenge you to believe in a God that has existed before time and that it will exist after time, a God that exists outside of time. You know what I mean? So that way you can really step into your greatness and become all that it is that you was created to be. So, Mike, I know you got a family to get to do. So was there anything else you wanted to share with the people?
Just some shout outs.
Yeah, go ahead. Go through your shout out list, man.
All right. Shout out Brenda.
Brenda!
Shout
Hey,
out mom. Shout out dad.
Brenda! Go ahead.
Obviously. she's I don't know if she's still in it. She's probably putting Willow to bed right now.
Okay.
Shout out Drew, Corbin, Eric, all the boys in PA. Love y'all. Thank you for all the help that you've given me and allowed me to go on this journey. Shout out all the Overdose boys in Discord. For y'all that are watching, and shout out all my customers, especially the ones that believed in me in the beginning. I had people sending me $2,500 to build them a computer that I've never even met before. Blake Blake Stevens, you're my first customer, buddy. Thank you so much for kickstarting me on that journey, and for all my other customers who believe in it and continue to support. Thank y'all. And thank you, George, for having me on.
Amen. Amen, man. Listen, man, this was beautiful, Mike. I pray that the Lord just continues to bless you, has favor upon you, has favor upon your household, your family. You know what I mean? That he covers your wife, strengthens your wife, give her everything that she needs in order to continue to stand by your side as you pursue this thing. And, I pray that God gives you clarity in your mind, that he strengthens you, that he guards your thoughts from any attacks of the enemy that would seek to kill or destroy that which you are building or that which God has purposed and planned on the inside of you. And I just pray that you would continue to go forth in boldness and, do what it is that you were called to do, man, because you were created for greatness. And I mean, we're looking at it. We're witnessing it. Because one of the things a lot of people are going to see on 52 Tuesdays, they're going to look back 5 years from now and they're going to say, wow, look at where that individual is. And I'm going to be able to say, man, I got to introduce the stars of tomorrow today. You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna be able to say that. You know what I mean? Like the people that in 5 years you're gonna look back and you're gonna be like, wow. I'm gonna be like, yeah, I had him on 5 years ago. I seen it a long time ago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can't wait to see where we end up.
Yeah, man. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited for you, man. And you have a good night. Send my regards to your wife, and make sure you go and give your baby a kiss tonight. Make sure you tell her how much you love her, and because that's a gift in itself.
Yes, that's every day.
That's a gift in itself, man, because there's a lot of men out there that don't have that opportunity to be able to, So never take that for granted, man. Always keep first things first, man. Will. And your life is just going to continue to go off, and it's just going to rocket ship out of this atmosphere, man, because you're destined for great things, man. And I want to thank you, Mike. I want to thank you for coming into my life. I want to thank you for sponsoring me. Hopefully, we can get to a point to where we can draw up some paperwork and we can become partners, man, because, I already, like you say, you wish you can go up and see it 10 years from now. I already seen it. You know what I mean? So I'm coming back. I'm coming back to let you know that God told me, like, yo, get that boy a piece of whatever it is that we're doing and let's go. You know what I mean? Because for me, it's not about the money. It's about the mission. It's about the mission.
Yep.
It is. It's about the mission. So you have the visionary, and then you have people that are called to come and support the vision, So, Mike is a supporter of the vision, and, I believe in his vision, and I want to support his vision as well, so that way we can just continue to grow together, man, because this is the birthing of something beautiful. Please stay tuned. Stay focused, because like I say, once we build out this community and once we get things going, you guys are really going to be mind blown, man, because the resources that we're going to bring to the table and the things that we're going to make available to the general public, the things that have been withheld from people for far too long are now going to be made available underneath one hub, one community. So, we welcome you to, to lock in with us, man, and, stay committed and stay focused, because we're going to grow. We're definitely going someplace. We have a vision. We have a plan. The resources are there. Now the people are coming into play. So stay tuned, man. Lock in with us, man. J Vega 360, 52 Tuesdays, SIKPCs, your boy Big Mike, man. Thank you for locking in, man. We love you. You have a good night. Shout out to everybody on the check-in. We'll see you again next Tuesday with another amazing interview. Okay, Mike, you can save that to the Instagram.